You know that old trees just grow stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello.
Good morning. We're with Meg and Russ Robinson, and you're listening to CalmUnity Global Internet Radio. Welcome, Meg and Russ, to Observations and Perspectives. And
well, thank
yeah,
you.
I'm so thrilled to have you today. And we'll be talking about that great legend and performer. I would say probably one of your favorite performers, Russ and Meg, and that's John Prine. Now, you two have been married for over 40 years, and you have both been ardent fans of John Prine's for decades. Did you know John Prine before you met, or was this a dual discovery, both each other and John Prine?
Well, my brother turned me on to John Prine in the early 70s when he returned from military service. He had picked up a guitar and played a few songs. So the first song that, the first two songs I ever heard of his just bowled me over because of the words that, of the song. It just connected so immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he was he was the guy that turned me on to him, you know, and it was like, oh my gosh, how can,
Wow.
you know, the song that hit me, the first song I heard, I think, was the Frying Pan song. and it struck me because, you know, it was about a guy that the lyrics are, I came home from work this evening, found a note in the frying pan, said, fix your own supper, babe. I've run off with a fuller brush, man.
Oh, God.
and,
Oh,
and I'm sitting there listening to it, just cracking up, because then he's saying how he misses the way she used to cuss at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. If I ever go out and get married again, I'll never leave my wife at home.
oh, God. Oh,
So I
well,
just
that's
thought
good.
that was hilarious.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's showing the extent that he's kind of, the underlying thing is saying, hey, you got to pay attention to your relationships.
Yes.
You know, you just don't expect.
Handle with care.
Yes. Yeah. So, Russ, did you bring John Prine with you, or did you discover it through Meg and her brother?
Well, actually, Meg and I had met once, but I was kind of cruising around one night and went into a coffee house and heard this guy, this folk singer, singing one of his songs, and he ranted and raved about how much he loved John Prine. And
Yeah.
the song was that I remembered so prolifically was the late John Garfield Blues.
Mm.
And it just so happened that the next day I had called Meg to find out about a friend of ours, and he had gone on the road again, this friend. But Meg and I started talking, and I mentioned I had heard this folk singer the night before singing this song about the late John Garfield Blues, written by John Prine. And she immediately said, oh, yes, my brother turned me on to John Prine.
Wow.
Well, we ended up talking for about a couple hours that night and decided what we'd do is go down to this coffee house later that night and listen to the guy. And so we did, and that actually was our first date, more or less.
Wow.
And we just developed a very strong friendship because we could relate to what his songs were about then. At that point, he only had out like one or two albums, which were very prolific. His first album, Diamond in the Rough, has one of those that every song is just so, you know.
You know, and back at that time, when my brother turned me on to him, Diane,
Yeah.
it was right after the war. And there were two songs he did, Sam Stone But then he also did one that your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. And I heard that and I thought, wow, because it's already crowded from your dirty little wars.
And
Yeah.
Jesus don't like killing no matter what the reason for.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's the kind of stuff that just, I went, my gosh, this guy's amazing.
And that war was the Vietnam War, right?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So how would you describe John Prine's genre? I mean, what kind of music does he play? Can it be labeled?
Folk country is probably
With some blues
as
thrown in.
close, with a little bit of bluegrass and also blues. I mean, he's all over his genre, I think. Bob Dylan quoted him or said that John Prine was a Proustus existentialist,
Wow.
which is quite a compliment.
Yeah, God.
Coming from, Bob Dylan, and who
Right,
also
exactly.
thought that he liked his music immensely. His favorite song was Lake Marie.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good song.
Yeah, I'll say. And I think that the last time we talked, we spoke about like which songs really kind of hit a little bit on some other artists. Like I think, Meg, you described possibly John Prine might be close to the Guthries.
Yeah.
So what would you say that Arlo Guthrie was? Pretty much folk?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when listening to John Prine, I have noticed that there are lyrics and music that go deeper than most lyricists, and his ability to write about the raw human condition is pretty amazing. So what do you think he's captured? Does his music make you reflect on life more than you would? And is his music a portal to something bigger, like a more universal understanding of relationships?
Well, I definitely think because he is so raw in every experience that he touches on, if nothing else, it's got to touch your heart. Because as soon as you start hearing the songs that he sings, it takes you to a place of places you've been and seen, and people who are stepped on daily, and people who strive so hard to survive. I mean, he just kind of, and people who fall in love. There's just so much that he's written about, and it's just, wow, can you get lost in some lyrics?
Right.
He is incredibly gifted and plays it. I mean,
exactly. I mean, he goes both ways, to the very serious to very lighthearted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing that one person had the ability to cut through things the way he has.
Yeah.
Russ, did you have anything like, do you think he has created a more universal understanding of relationships? Do his fans think so?
Oh, I think so. His fans just absolutely seem to love him, no matter where you are, and you run into somebody. I have quite a collection of t-shirts, John Prine t-shirts. Got one from almost every concert we went to, and have picked up some off of Oh Boy that I just absolutely love. And it seems like no matter when I wear them or where I go, there's always somebody that comments on the shirt or him.
Sure.
He's just, his universal thought is one of those things, like you hear it and it's like, wow,
yeah,
that's exactly the way I believe, or it's something. And the fact that he hits the mark on it,
Yeah. And sometimes when I listen to his songs, and I think that the one that has struck me was Hello in There, because we use that song a lot in women's consciousness raising, about women and aging. And that was an extremely just a raw way to talk about older women's experience.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it was
Well,
extremely
older
useful.
people, it's not necessarily women.
Right,
But-
exactly.
You know, you become this throwaway person in society once you've hit your home, and nobody that he started that, that song came up because he used to deliver mail, and how excited women who had lost their husbands and their kids didn't visit them anymore.
Yes,
He'd go to the door and they just, that hello in there. Is anybody there? If nobody answered,
right.
So
No, that's a striking song, and
It is.
that's just one of many. I know you guys have your favorites. You mentioned a few, but how about The Angel from Montgomery?
yep.
Uh-huh.
Way up there on my list.
Yeah, why?
I don't, I think that's the one, Russ, isn't it, that I was talking about, the
How the hell does a person
yep,
go to work in the morning?
and come home
Okay, yeah,
and have nothing to say. I
yeah.
mean, it just said, wow, because
Uh-huh.
I can't fathom that, but I know people that say, they've got no connection with their partner, and I'm going, oh my God, I just can't imagine that.
Right.
Well,
I know.
and that's another one of those songs that very few, I'm sorry, we just had a flyover.
Oh, no problem.
And I don't know how much.
No, we can't hear it.
At that point in the music industry, there were not too many men or women that were able to write a song expressing the sincere feelings of the opposite sex.
Mhm.
So for him writing that song and expressing it when he sang it, as a woman, the emotions of a woman, kind of showed his
Like universality, he gets
yes,
it. Yeah,
yes, his empathy for all humans, not just
exactly. Right,
the cowboy or the folk singing male image that so many
right,
other ones
exactly.
might do.
Sure.
I think one of the most prolific songs and verses of any song of his that I liked, that also struck me from the beginning, was Sam Stone. Welcome Home didn't last too long, it seems. Climbing walls while sitting in a chair.
Wow.
The guy coming home from Vietnam,
And
Yep.
that's
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
and all his money's going in his arm, with his kids running out around in other people's clothes, it's just like,
Oh, wow.
numbers.
Yeah. So, what was John Prine's life like? Was he married? Did he have children? Did he live like some songwriters and musicians who kind of live on the edge, or did he have a kind of a stable environment?
Well, he had 3 different marriages. His first one was his high school sweetheart, and then he married a woman that played bass in some group. I don't know if it was his group or not.
his backup group
His
for a
backup
while.
group, I
Mhm.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in Ireland playing and met Fiona, who he then married, and they have 2 children together, and she already had a child by her previous marriage. So they have a very happy marriage, and that's when they really got into the Oh Boy Records, and she manages it, and she and her son manage it. Amazing love there. He wound up with the love of his life. In fact, he got to a point where he wasn't writing much. He had tons of lyrics and things that he had written down, and she got a motel room for him and said, you need to go write you need to go put this down. You need to come up with something. So, because he was, busy with other things, and went and that came up with the last couple of albums, didn't he, Russ? When he was
His last album, Tree of Forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, him and his wife and son, his stepson, who runs Oh Boy Records now. He's the kind of the head of it. They packed up all of his stuff into boxes and put him in a nice hotel in Nashville for 10 days. Kind of locked him in there because he always did his best writing on the road or in the hotel rooms, it seemed.
Wow.
Some of his first writings when he played at the Fifth Peg, I think it was, in Chicago, he would write when he was headed into open mic night after he'd worked all day. So he figured he needed new songs for open mic night at this folk singing place, and he'd write them on the way in or at lunchtime on the day he was going in to sing that night.
There's some talent. Yep. All
Yes.
the way.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine having a head full of that kind of,
Yep.
how you could touch into that, make it rhyme sometimes, but just tell this story that is,
Yes.
holy.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. He passed on in 2021. Is that right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
April 7th.
Oh wow. And you both went to his memorial site?
No.
Well, we
thought
we were going down to Nashville at the time of his birth date, figuring something would be going on down there, but because of COVID, everything was closed down, so they didn't really have much going down there. We tried to see where Oh Boy Records was, but
Mhm.
so much chaos was going on in the city because of COVID, plus the presidential debate was going to be there that weekend at I can't remember the name of the small college, but it's right near Vanderbilt.
Mm.
So we didn't get to see that, but we did go to Paradise, which is where his family was from, both his wife or his mother and father. And he had a song about Paradise, but Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County down by the Green River where Paradise lay.
Wow. Wow.
Is
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away.
Oh. Oh.
And they did. You go down by there and there is a massive power plant where Paradise used to be.
Oh,
We went
gee.
to the old cemeteries there and did find some gravestones, but could not connect them directly through his family because we didn't have the charts.
Right.
But he did say in that song, when I die, I want my ashes to flow down the Green River, just 5 miles away from wherever I am.
Wow.
So the
the-
Green River does flow through Paradise, and
Okay.
part of his ashes were distributed there after he passed.
Wow. So Paradise is in Tennessee?
Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Okay, great.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So are there anything else or other things that you would like the listeners to know about John Prine? How many concerts have you collectively, both of you, attended?
Well, I'd say probably 10 at
Uh-huh.
least.
Maybe more.
Yes.
We
And
were
did you-
lucky enough, though, I have won tickets off one of the radio stations here in Denver. And it was to go see him play up in the
Aspen
Aspen
Snowmass.
Snowmass. And it was an outdoor concert, so they gave us a room for the night, and we got to go sit on the grass and listen to him play on the side of the mountain.
Oh, how
And
lovely.
when we left there and went to our room, we decided we are gonna go eat something and went out the door, and he was sitting right there at the door when we went out. So we did get a chance to sit down and visit with him for a
Oh,
while.
how isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it was
Directly,
amazing,
yes.
Wow.
No pretentiousness at all.
No.
Nothing like, oh my God, you're going to want an autograph or
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
anything. He just made you feel very comfortable.
Wow. Well, his music makes a lot of us feel comfortable, and we're heard. And also some of his music goes beyond what we're used to hearing. So, I mean, it's a real adventure in lyrics and listening and music to really get to know John Prine.
Yep.
It is.
It really is. And I want to thank both of you this morning for talking about him, because I know he's been an important part of your life. So thank you, Russ and Meg Robinson, for your time this morning discussing John Prine, a legend in his own right. Thanks so much for being on Observations and Perspectives.
Thank you. It's been our pleasure.
Very good talking to you, Diane.
Thank you.
Make me